Okay, what's up? I made a huge mistake, detrimental mistake. So I need to email everybody really quick. I made a huge mistake. Um, so let me try to send an email here, and then we'll get back to it. Boom. New link. Yeah, I made a huge mistake. I clicked end the stream, and apparently you can never start the stream again if you do that. So that's really bad. Urgent. Here is the new link. I'm sending everybody an email to this. This is the secret live stream, by the way. So if you found this, you are one of the secret live stream people. So that's pretty cool. It's a new stream link. Send to recipients. Recipients. Did not mean to say it like that. Okay. What's up, everyone? Hello. If you see this, you've seen you're on the secret live stream. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? You see this white cable? That's the reason that I'm streaming on this camera right now. So that's why that white cable is there. Oh my goodness, the chat's going crazy. So yeah, I was having some technical difficulties on my last stream. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fix them. I'm gonna go ahead and just end the stream and fix the issues. And then when you click that, you can never go back. So that's a problem. I have a chai tea latte here. And hopefully here, I'm going to make a little Instagram story really quick. I lost my phone. Oh, here it is. I'm going to make an Instagram story really quick just to let everybody know about the detrimental mistake I made. So I'm an editor. I don't have streaming experience. This is new to me. So not good. Here, let's take a picture together. Everybody get in here. Everybody get in here. Okay. Oh, did I click it? Did I do it right? I didn't see a flash. Okay, well, that's something. Let me try again. That was not good. I think we can do better. And I want the flash on. Well, that's fine. Okay, that was something. Okay, yeah, that'll work. We'll try that. Dude, you can see the whole mess in my room. Over here, you guys don't know this because you don't really see this part of the room, but it's a complete mess. Over here, kind of a mess. It's just because you don't see it. So I'm being secretive. Made a detrimental mistake. Here is new live link. Okay. Just working on my Instagram story. Thanks for being here. So just so you know, this is what's happening. Today is a secret live stream. I'm gonna get my notes out. I was thinking about doing like a whole presentation and making it like crazy, but instead, we're just gonna have a little family convo. I'm keeping it raw and vulnerable with y'all. I think that's the style we're gonna go with. I'll take off the glasses, I promise. I just thought it would be fun. I thought it would be a fun like intro to have the glasses on. You know what I mean? So, okay, let me get the right link in here. How in the world am I going to share the link to myself? This is crazy. I'm stressed. If you can't tell, doing things live stresses me out. Live is scary because if I say something, who knows? Who knows what could happen if I say something whack? Can't edit it out. Okay, look at you guys chatting. There you go. You got an exam tomorrow? Oh gosh. I'm so glad I don't have to do exams anymore. As long as you quit school at some point, you don't have to do exams. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, here's the link. Okay. Let me get some like scary music in here on my story. Here, you guys can help me choose. That's kind of scary. Or this one. Oh, that's way too scary. This is good. This is good. I like this. Yo, Silver Drew, thank you for the gift. Oh my, dude, I literally turned monetization off because I forgot I had super chat on. I didn't even want to monetize this, guys. That's so kind though. Thank you so much. Okay, the story's uploading. We got to get started. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time. My plan was to go an hour. We might go a little over. But here's the, okay, so here's what the secret live stream's about, guys. We're going to get personal. We're going to get deep. So if you're not ready for that, it's all good. It's all good. This may not be the stream for you. And that's totally fine. We're going to talk about deep personal things about my life. And I'm going to share some of my opinions, some of my life story. The way I'm setting this up makes it seem super scary. It's not that scary. I just want you to know that this is like, it's going to be fun, but it's also, we're going to get serious too. So, just wanted to let you know, give you a little bit of context there. What are you guys saying in the chats here? Stray Kids mentioned? Dude, I love Stray Kids. Stray Kids is freaking awesome. Okay, you guys ready? Are you ready to go deep? Are you ready to get real on this live stream? That's why it's a secret live stream. I'm only wanting the people that are here ready to get real, ready to have not a serious conversation, but a real conversation. All right, this isn't just a bunch of fluff. Like I'm going to talk about the stuff that's really, truly important to me and invite you into it if you want to join me. So, okay, go for it. Yeah, I'm lucky to be here. I feel like I'm robbing a bank. Oh no. Is it the glasses? Here, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. I feel like we're not robbing the bank. A fellow Christian ready. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, sweet. All right. Hablas español? I took Spanish class, but no hablas español. No hablo español. See, I know something at least. I know that was incorrect the way I said it. No, the glasses looks nice. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'll put them back on. I can't take myself seriously. Yeah, dude, the glasses are good. They're so stupid, bro. I love it. Okay. So first off, here's kind of the game plan. First off, we're going to talk about how I feel about art in general. And I know we can all agree that art is pretty awesome. Do you guys think that art is awesome? Give me a 1 in the chat if you think art is awesome. I think it's awesome. If you're watching this channel, if you enjoy K-pop, if you're like, man, I love music videos, I think we could pretty much all agree that art is awesome. Yes, put the 1s in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. My audio interface just fell. Oh gosh. You know, I'm not the most unclumsy person, okay? I'm not. Okay, we're good. We're good. I told you it's going to get real. You're going to see literally everything. This is what it's like filming my YouTube videos. There's just chaos happening the whole time. Okay, so first we're going to talk about art. And then what art leads into is storytelling. Storytelling is my passion. I love storytelling. And I know you guys love storytelling. At least you probably do, because we like to dive into K-pop theories on this channel, right? We like to figure out, okay, what story are they trying to say with what are they trying to say with the song? How does the video go into that? All of those things. We like to figure that out together. So because of storytelling, I'm going to share with you my story, some moments in my life that were crazy significant to me, and how it actually changed my life. And then I'm going to invite you into that. I'll you know, hopefully if something has changed my life for the better a lot, I would love to have for you to have the same thing. And then we'll just do a little Q&A at the end. So we're just going to get real. I'm going to share my story. We're going to talk about art a little bit, talk about storytelling a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Does that sound good? A little story time? Okay. I love it. We love chaos. Unedited Jordan is best times. Thank you. Sweet. That's going to be pretty much it. We'll do a little Q&A at the end. So if you guys have any questions for me and you're putting them in the chat, save them for later where we'll have a Q&A time and I'll read all the questions and then answer them. If that sounds good to you, just like get a little piece of paper, get your phone out, write down your question. And then once Q&A time comes, I'll see it and then I'll answer. Because if you send it too early, I might not see it and I might not answer. And I want to make sure that you get your question answered. Okay. I got some chai tea. There's literally like half an inch left. There's nothing in here, but here we go. I loudly slurped for you. Hopefully you didn't hate that. I'm sorry if you hated that and you just immediately wanted to leave. I apologize. Okay. So first of all, this is going to be raw. I don't have a presentation. I'm literally just going to talk to you guys and that's it. I don't know when to take the glasses off. I need a vote. I need a vote. Put 1 in the chat if you think I should leave the glasses on. 2 in the chat if you think I should take them off. I didn't plan this far. I didn't plan this far. Okay, we got a lot of 1s. All right. I appreciate the fact that you want me to hide my face. That's nice. That's nice. So we're gonna leave them on. All right. So here's some of my deep ponderings. Do you ever have shower thoughts? If you ever have shower thoughts where you're just in the shower and you get some like deep thoughts, does that ever happen to you? Put a little yes in the chat if you get some shower thoughts every once in a while, because that happens to me. Yeah. Okay. You don't shower? Okay, cool. That's awesome. Man, you guys are hilarious. I love this. Okay. I feel like art is one of the weirdest things in the world because it's not really something that's necessary for survival, right? If you think about it, like us humans, we love to, like, if you think of us as like animals, which at some level you are, but that gets into a whole philosophical conversation, which we're going to get into because I told you we're getting deep. All right. We pretty much, animals do things mostly for survival and to reproduce, right? Like you don't see animals out in the world creating what we would consider art probably, but humans do that. Humans devote themselves to art. I am so obsessed with art that I've made an entire job out of creating art, creating videos, and literally art is like a form of communication. And it's one of the best forms of communication in my opinion, because number one, it bypasses culture. Like the fact that we're literally all here right now is proof that it bypasses culture. I'm on a channel where we talk about K-pop music videos. I'm from America. I'm not from Korea. The Korean music videos have bypassed culture and we all get to consume them together. I know we're literally from all around the world. Literally put where you're from in the chat right now. Put where you're from in the chat so we can see where we're all from. Mexico. Yes, we have the gold glasses because we hit 1 million. And the plaque's back there. So praise God. Okay. USA, Italy, Canada. I'm in Korea, LOL. Colombia, India, Argentina, Kenya, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Indonesia. Bro, like, look at this, guys. The entire world has gathered here on this channel because of art. Art is freaking amazing. And the other thing that art does is it, like, not only it bypasses culture, it brings us all together. It also lowers defenses. So oftentimes, like, as you know, there's so much division in the world. There's human beings do be fighting a lot. All right. But art is one of the best things to create to bypass defenses and help us to relate to one another. So it bypasses culture. It helps us relate to one another, and it's just it's a thing that's unique to humans that I feel like nothing else in the world really does. And so why is that? I guess that's my question. Like why? I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to you guys. Why do you think humans are the only ones that create art? And why do you think why would we like devote ourselves to that if it doesn't really help us for survival? Like it's more so like a for fun thing. It doesn't really help us get food. Obviously, we're a little bit more developed now where I will use art. I will be an editor. I will be a content creator, a filmmaker in order to make art, which is fun. And that's like the soul, and that's not the soul thing, but that's probably the deeper thing that motivates me. But the surface level thing that motivates me is actually to put food on the table for my family. So art, you can monetize it, but in general, in like civilization, art is not something that actually helps us that much. Like it's not necessary for survival. Okay. Because it expresses our feelings and emotions. I think it might be because something that helps us get creative, which is something that many people find is fun. So yeah, we enjoy it. I like that is clear that we definitely enjoy it. Art is spiritual, and we're spiritual beings experiencing a physical life. Oh man, you're getting deep. You're getting deep, but I kind of like what you're saying. I like what you're saying. You kind of know where I'm going a little bit. Wait, bro, streams? Yes, we're streaming right now. This is a secret live stream. If you found it, congratulations. This started 16 minutes and 51 seconds ago. Okay, I've been looking at music videos differently and been more observant since I've been watching you. I'm glad. I think it's great to look at art through a critical lens. Not critical as in it's bad, but critical as in like making you think deeply about it. Because there's so many messages, there's so many things that we get to express through art. So like even answering some of those questions, like art is a way, especially in music videos, it's a way to tell stories and like communicate messages between each other, and not in a way where it's like, guess what? And I guess art is like another way to say it is art is a way to communicate truth to one another without being like overtly mean. I guess not mean is not the right word, but instead of being like, hey, I think you should shower, like instead, this is a stupid example, but like you could go up to somebody and say, hey, I think you should shower because you're stinky. Or you could make a music video or a film showing somebody who doesn't shower and who's stinky and how people react to him. And you don't say anything about, hey, you should shower because you're stinky. But somebody who consumes that piece of art, this is the stupidest example ever, but somebody who consumes that piece of art, they're like, oh, wait a second. You know, it is a good thing to shower. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really cool function of art where you can actually use it to tell stories, to influence people, to change their opinions about the world or what's good, what's bad. And it really influences culture, and it shares what we value as humans, which is pretty cool. Okay, what are you guys saying in the chat? What a sentence to enter the oh my gosh. Yeah, that is the craziest example ever. Okay. I always thought nobody noticed that in the myths in the music video, and then I found you and you were the one who noticed it all. Yeah, bro, I love art. Okay. Somebody said because it did help us surviving once our species reached a certain level where social structures supported coexisting and humans could have the time to engage with creating things for the sake of it. Yeah. So that's the thing where it's like, I guess once you reach the level past survival, like what do you do with your time? And a lot of people will choose to do art. Number one, because it's fun. Number two, because it helps us tell stories and it helps us engage with each other. And it's a form of communication. So the thing is, the point that I'm trying to make is that like story hits way harder than just like truth, just like saying a statement. Like telling a story actually usually resonates with people a lot deeper. That's why it's amazing to see what kind of stories and what kind of messages people are putting into K-pop videos. A lot of them are like, hey, I can do whatever I want. A lot of them are like, hey, haters are the worst and I don't care about them. But some of them, like as you've seen on our channel, some of them get crazy deep. And it's cool to see what mediums of art communicate what messages. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like art is really cool. I think we can all agree on that. Story is really amazing. I think I would much rather prefer to hear a story than for somebody to say like, hey, do this. And so on today's live stream, I wanted to share my story. Instead of me just being like, hey, this is what I think you should believe. I just wanted to share my story and let you guys learn about that. So does that sound good? Are you cool with me sharing a little bit about my story? Okay, visual art wins. Nude by Idol. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, cool. He's talking to bro. Should I learn editing for skills? All right, here we go. We're gonna get into the story. So I'm gonna give you a little overview. Like I'm gonna give you my whole life story and kind of what's actually helped my life the most. And I'm going to skip through a lot of stuff. Obviously, we don't have time to go through this. This is supposed to be an hour. We have a couple more things to talk about afterwards, but I'm just going to lay it all out there. You guys can get to know me, get to understand like what happened and what has helped my life, what has hurt my life, and hopefully you learn something from it and it helps you out. That's the whole goal here. So, bro, Blackpink is having a comeback. Yes, I have it literally on my calendar. It's on there next week, right? Is it next week? Yeah, I have it on my calendar as next week. So we're gonna react to Blackpink soon. So it's coming. I'll also probably do like an ATEEZ reaction soon, maybe today. So we'll see. Anyway, okay, here's my story. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Jordan. And I grew up in Hawaii. I was born in Hawaii, which is kind of weird because look at me, kind of weird. My family's from the Midwest in the United States of America. They're from like Wisconsin and Illinois. And they moved to, my mom got a teaching job. So then they moved to Hawaii. I was born there and I grew up until I was 10. Well, I lived there till I was 10. And then I moved to Wisconsin. And then from Wisconsin, I moved to Southern California to go to film school and go to college. So that's kind of my locations. That's the setting here. And when I was growing up, I was just having fun. I grew up in a Christian household. So I didn't really know a lot about other things about the world. My parents would bring me to church. I would go to Sunday school. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is great. I'm running around. I loved sports. Like I was super into soccer when I was a kid. That was my favorite sport of all time. Does anybody love soccer or football? Football is freaking sick. I love it. So I was like really obsessed with sports and I just wanted to be the best. Like that was the thing that was driving me, partially because like my parents really encouraged it. Like my parents were pretty high achieving people. And so they were like, hey, you just got to work hard. You know, all the things that your parents tell you, like you just work hard, you can achieve things, like it's great. And so I was just working really hard to try to be the best at everything. And I would go to church, learn Bible verses, learn things like that, just because that was my environment. And yeah, so I called myself like a Christian, like a follower of Jesus, but I wasn't really changing the way I lived. Like then I just lived like a normal kid, essentially. And nothing really changed. Moved to Wisconsin and still played a ton of soccer. I really got into basketball and golf. So golf is, dude, is anybody play golf? Love golf. I don't know. It's an addiction. It's a problem. Please react to EXO Crown. Yes, I will try to. We'll see. I don't know. I can't promise anything. Who knows? But so I was really obsessed with sports because I was kind of, here's the other thing. Another thing, when I was in Hawaii, I developed super bad food allergies. So I would like sneeze like crazy. I like anything would just like make me sneeze. I was like constantly congested. I literally had a box of tissues on my desk as a kid, and I would just be using them constantly. Nobody wanted to be my friend. And honestly, I don't blame them because I was gross. I was like that snotty nosed little kid that just couldn't control his allergies. So because of that, I just started to develop like some social anxiety. And I was like, oh my goodness, like everybody hates me. I can't make friends with anybody because, you know, I'm gross and I'm a snot nosed kid. And I still have allergies a little bit. It's not as bad as when I was a kid though. But so yeah, and because of that, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna become really good at sports so that I don't have to like I can be like a cool kid. You know, I want to be one of the cool kids. I want to be really good at sports, and then all the kids will like me, and I can have friends again instead of being the gross snot nosed kid. So that's what I tried. I did that in Wisconsin. Like I said, I got really into basketball, started playing football. Like every time we went to recess, I would just go and just like go as hard as I possibly could in the paint doing sports. Okay. And sports ball. That's what people say sometimes when they don't know about sports. They just say sports ball. I feel like that's the energy I'm giving right now. Anyway, so that's what I would do. And I still was going to church, still doing all that stuff. And I got pretty good at sports. Like I was on like a club soccer team in middle school. And then our high school that I went to in Wisconsin, they don't like soccer. Nobody likes soccer. Everybody plays American football in Wisconsin. So I switched in high school to kicking footballs, which is kind of like soccer, but not the same. So I really worked on becoming like a professional kicker for American football. And because of that, that actually led me to go to college in Southern California because they had a Division II football team that I was going to kick for. And they had film school. And I was like, you know what? I really like art. Like I've always loved art growing up. I've always loved music. The other thing I forgot to mention was I started playing drums when I was in middle school or high school. And I really got obsessed with that too for a while. Like I was convinced I was going to be a professional drummer. Here's the thing. Do you sense the pattern here? Like I just go from like obsession to obsession and try to get really freaking good at that thing. And you can see how that's gotten me to where I am now. You do kind of see the pattern. So we're going to get there. We're going to get to present day soon, or at least a couple of years ago. And so I I went to college, and I actually didn't do that well at kicking, and I didn't get a scholarship for it. So I quit kicking, and because I couldn't afford college financially, I was like, I'm not going to be able to make, like, I can't do kicking for free, essentially. I need to get a job in order to pay for college because it's crazy expensive. And so went to college, and here's the thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this editing thing. Boom, we're getting to present day. I didn't do any editing, didn't do any filmmaking in high school, none of it growing up. I was mostly just doing sports. And then drums too. I really liked drums. And so I got into an editing lab at 5 p.m. after like shooting my first short film. I kind of didn't like it. I was really stressed trying to be on set, like getting actors, getting locations, doing permits, filming everything. It was just stressful. Then I got into the editing lab at 5 p.m. one day, started editing, started putting it together. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I had tutorials up on one screen, the editing software on the other screen. You're just like trying to figure it out. But as I was putting the clips together, I saw a movie unfolding before my very eyes. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is freaking sick. This is awesome. And here you go. New obsession unlocked. I look up at the clock and it was 5 a.m. Literally 5 a.m. I got there at 5 p.m. It was 5 a.m. I was there for 12 hours. Literally nuts. I accidentally stayed up all night. That was like the first time I had ever edited. And I was like, you know what? like I just said before, new obsession unlocked. All right, new obsession unlocked. And so I just full sent it into filmmaking. I kind of stopped doing drums at that time too. I got cut from like a chapel band team. So this is like a Christian college. I'm still calling myself a Christian the whole time, by the way. Still calling myself a Christian, not really living like it, just like obsessed with being good at things. Like that's my MO. So I just full sent it into filmmaking, started learning as much as I could about editing specifically and sound design. I really like post-production. So I learned a ton of stuff about that. And then I got really scared because I was graduating soon and I didn't want to move back to Wisconsin because that's where my family was from. So I was like, you know what? I have to learn how to survive here in Los Angeles, the big city. It's very expensive here. So it's like, okay, how do we survive? And so I just worked my butt off to try to get any kind of editing job. I tried freelance editing and I would just do literally anything, working as hard as I possibly could. I was working like 80 hours a week just to try to get by. And the thing is, it was not healthy. I was losing all my friends. I wasn't talking to my family. I wasn't being a kind person. I was just like laser focused, obsessed with this, like succeeding in editing. And the thing is, I actually did succeed. So started editing for Justin Bieber, started editing for Tyga, G-Eazy, Post Malone, all these like crazy artists. Do you have ADHD? I think I might. Honestly, I think I might. But like the opposite, where I'm not like distracted, I'm like crazy focused. I'm pretty sure I have that ADHD. Anyway, yeah, OCD at least. Okay, I don't think I have OCD, but we low-key think Ashley, my wife, does. But I think I do probably have some form of like hyper-focus ADHD. Anyway, so I was just going crazy. But here's the thing. The motivation for me to like do all these things was not, I wouldn't chalk it up to ADHD. I wouldn't chalk it up to like a mental thing or like health. It was all like an internal motivation because I wasn't feeling like I was enough. I was always trying to work my way in order to be accepted by society and by other people because I didn't feel like I was loved. Like that's kind of the main thing. So I kept like, we're almost done with the story here. Basically over the pandemic, I started this YouTube channel, right? Because all the work, the freelance work that I was doing for these big artists and brands kind of dried up a little bit. Just at the beginning, actually picked right back up real quick. But in that little gap, there was like probably a month or two where it was kind of slow. I started this YouTube channel because a friend of mine said, hey, you should start a YouTube channel. I was like, no. But then the pandemic happened and then I did because I was bored and it kind of took off. So now I'm getting all this, like, you know, as you guys know, you're here. We're getting millions of views on YouTube. I'm editing for these crazy brands. I'm like every single week I'm editing. And then on the weekends, I'm making a YouTube video. That was my life for like 3 years. And now I've kind of slowly gone more towards YouTube and more towards like educating and coaching and stuff. But I'm still freelance editing. Like I'm starting a crazy big project next week. And then I'm still making YouTube videos. So my life's just crazy. But anyway, all that to be said, the reason, like the motivation for me doing this was because I felt like I was not enough. I wasn't loved. People wouldn't like me because I wasn't successful. Like, I feel like the only thing that gave me value was being successful in the world. That was like what I was basing everything on. And so I was like, oh my God, like that was it. And I would just like you heard in my story, I was just always chasing like the next high, like the next thing I thought I could be successful at. I was like, okay, I'm good at soccer. Let me just full send into soccer. Oh, I'm good at basketball. Let me just full send into that. Drumming, filmmaking, kicking. Like it changed and it morphed throughout my life, but it was always the same. It always came back to the same problem, which was I feel like I'm not enough and I feel like people don't like me. And I feel like the only way that people will like me and accept me is if I'm good at something. That's pretty much it. That was my life MO. So, anyway, so I became pretty successful actually. Like, honestly, the strategy worked. Like, I worked really hard and I was obsessed, and I actually became a large-ish YouTuber. I was working for crazy big brands, and I failed at so many other things throughout my life, but like something finally stuck and I was successful. Now, the crazy thing was being at the height of this success, like when I was getting the most views on YouTube, I was doing the craziest things for like Nike. Um, I kind of hit a point where I was like burning out and I was actually super anxious and depressed. So I was, yes, you're a large YouTuber. LOL. So I thought, you know what? It's going to be great. I'm going to be making all this money. Everybody's going to like me because I'm famous and I got all this success. I'm really good at editing and filmmaking and stuff. So it's going to be awesome. No, it wasn't awesome. It was actually terrible. It was probably the worst I'd ever felt in my life. I felt horrible. I was so scared of losing everything that I had worked so hard for. I was so scared of like still people didn't like me at some, like I don't know if that's maybe just me thinking about myself too much or something, but it didn't really change that much. Like I thought it was going to change my life for the better. It did not. So I had this point where like at this whole time I'm also like going to church, doing all the church things, but there wasn't ever a transformation in my life. And I'm like, I was at a point where I was just like, okay, dude, life sucks. Like I thought it was going to be great. It's not. It's terrible. So I was like, all right, you know what? This is what's gonna happen. I was driving home one day to actually go film a YouTube video right here in this room, and I started repenting and talking to God, praying and saying, God, I've been messed up lately. I've been chasing fame, I've been chasing money and just trying to fill this hole that I feel in my heart with all of these things from the world, and it's not working. Now, I always like kind of knew that in my head, in the back of my head. Like you've heard these stories before where it's like, guys, don't chase money, don't chase fame. It's not gonna satisfy you. And in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, of course. But I'm gonna still do it anyway, because why not? You know, I can do that, I can chase money, and I can also follow Jesus. Like I can do this, I can do both, right? And I realized, no, you can't do both. It's like if you know about the Bible, Jesus, I'll tell you about him in a second. But Jesus says you can't serve two masters. It's impossible. You'll either hate one or love the other. You know, you can't. And he's literally talking about money too, and that was a big problem that I was having, and I still struggle with it a little bit. But you can't serve God and money. You can't. It's impossible. So I was trying to do that. Didn't work. So I said, God, I'm sorry for my greed. I'm sorry for being obsessed with fame, being obsessed with money, being like obsessed with anything in this world, like anything that this world had to offer except for you. And I just got like chills all over my body, which was crazy. And I started crying. It was nuts. I just really felt like there was this like warm presence with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. And that was like the first moment that I really like truly surrendered. I said, I don't want anything to do with any of this stuff. Like you could take it all away. I just want you, and I just want to be like in a relationship with you, God. And that like spurred me on this crazy journey of like it wasn't like instant. It wasn't like a, oh man, I feel so much better now. But it actually, I felt like I was filled with purpose and I was actually heading down the right path instead of the wrong path. That was like the turning point. And once I like literally said, hey God, I don't care about any of this stuff anymore. I'm giving it to you. And I just want you. The amount of peace that I felt, like the anxiety went away, the depression went away. It was crazy. And I don't think I had like depression as in like a like mental health brain depression. It was more so just I was just feeling unsatisfied in life. I think those might be different things. But I was just like really sad, I guess, you know, like I was just sad that I'd worked so hard and this stuff, all this money and fame didn't satisfy. And I was like, man, this sucks. Like life just is not it. Yeah, unfulfilled. Exactly. What's up? Okay, so and then I started hanging out with other people that follow Jesus, other creators, other people like that, and I just saw some crazy things. Like, oh, we don't even need to get into it. We could go into it, but I saw people like really get their lives turned around, and I saw like the way that Jesus impacted them, and like Jesus healing people, and I was like, this is crazy stuff. I grew up going to church my whole life, and I haven't seen anything like this is nuts. So I was really thinking, I was like, okay, God, you must, like, either this is all like a freaking cult and crazy, or you're real. And those are like the options. um and like either Jesus is a freaking lunatic, liar, con man, or he is who he says he was. Those are kind of the options. And Jesus makes some freaking strong statements. So those are literally your options. So I kind of like did a mini deconstruction where I was like, I don't know if I believe in this stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I have to decide right now, because I'm an adult now. I grew up going to church and stuff, but I don't know if this is real. So I did all kinds of research, did crazy deep dives. There were some days where I was like, no, I don't believe this. I feel like this is hogwash. And then there are some days where I was like, actually, the evidence is pretty crazy. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, after that whole journey, I was like, you know what? I actually fully believe in this. I believe that God is real. I believe there is a God, and I believe that Jesus is who he says he was. And then when I gave my life to Jesus, despite all the success, like all of that all of a sudden didn't matter. And the only like thing that I could hold on to is, bro, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He's the one that gives me peace. He's the one that makes me feel fulfilled. He's the one that gives me purpose. And so because of that, my whole, like, you can probably even see it. Like, there's been different eras in my channel. Like, you guys could probably literally go back and look at the videos. You can look at the older videos where I was just like going nuts, being a crazy person just because I wanted attention. And then you could look at the newer videos where I'm probably a little bit more chill, a little bit more calm, a little bit more like not striving so much. If you guys have been here for a long time, you probably could notice that. And so, yeah. And so, I mean, I feel like like me, everybody's looking for something more. And we're like trying all these different things where we're like, okay, I feel like this is going to satisfy and this is going to fulfill me. But it ends up not. The only thing that I've found that fulfills me, and I've tried a lot of things, as you can tell per my story, like Jesus and God is the only thing that's satisfied me. And I've always, you can tell, like, through my story, I've always longed for significance. Like, I wanted to be an important person. And I feel like everybody else feels that too. Like, once we get through survival, once we get through like, okay, we have friends and family we're taking care of, how can we make our life significant and how can we make it count? And so since I decided, you know what, I actually do believe in heaven. I believe in eternity. I went on like crazy deep dives studying near-death experiences. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but that is what really convinced me that there is like heaven and hell. There is eternity. There's more to this life than this. I encourage you, study. It's called NDEs, or near-death experiences. So I was like, okay, how do I make my life on earth count if there's a life after this? And so I kind of redid my entire life and made up like a new life mission. And the most peace and joy I found is when I try to live like Jesus. So that's like my main goal. My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. My wife keeps saying that because that's a quote. Anyway, my main goal is to be like Jesus, but God has still given me these passions and these gifts to be able to tell stories, to enjoy art, to be able to hang out with you guys in this YouTube channel. Like, I feel like he's not calling me like, oh, I'm just going to delete the YouTube channel and go be a monk. Like, I feel like that's not it. He's working the things that I've used for evil in the past for good. God says that he works all things for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So my life mission is to use editing, use filmmaking, use art and storytelling to tell stories that help people, in the same way that God helped me in my darkest moments. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to tell stories that have eternal value and that build value for the future and like really truly help people in an internal way. Also in like a way like I want like people need to eat some food, bro, and people need to be cared for. There's so much hurt in the world that I'd love to help. But storytelling, I always say this, like storytelling is kind of like fire, where it can cause a lot of destruction and it can cause a lot of good. It's just a tool. So now my whole mindset is like, how can we leverage stories to actually help people? So yeah. And now life is so much better than it was. Like I'm actually probably less, well, I have more subscribers, but I'm probably less famous, not doing as well, maybe. And I still like, I have an incredible life now and so much peace where I get to tell stories that actually help people. It's the kind of life that money can't buy. So I'm so excited about it. And yeah, it's not easy either. This is not like following Jesus is not easy by any means. And but it's a good thing. And lots of times like good and hard go together and you want to like wake up every day and be tired, not as in like, bro, I'm tired and depressed, but as like the good tired, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I worked hard and I did something that really impacted the world and helped people today. So that's pretty great. And so yeah, I get to explain, I get to surrender and say, okay, God, what do you want me to do today? How, like, please use my life. How do you want it to go? Because when I was in charge and I was just working my butt off and trying to fulfill myself, it did not work at all. So I in that car, I was like, God, my life is yours. You do your, I believe in you. You're like the creator of the universe and you know how to run my life much better than me. So yeah, that's kind of my story. What do you guys think? I know this might be like super random. That's why this is a secret live stream. And I know you might be like, what the frick, Jordan? What are you doing? But I just wanted to be like completely vulnerable and honest with you guys and get deep and talk about like what really truly matters to me. And I don't want to force it on you. I don't want to say like, this is what you must do to be successful in life. But it's actually what has helped me the most. So I feel like I would, as a storyteller, as somebody who loves art, even like me sharing my story here on this live stream, I want to tell stories that help people. And if this is the thing that's helped me the most, why would I not say it to you? Like, why would I not tell you? So that's the mindset. And I know this is like, this is probably not like the best YouTube video to make. So I was like, let's just do it in a live stream and just hang out and talk and just have honest conversation and dialogue. And if you completely disagree with me, that is totally fine. It's okay. So, but yeah, I also don't want to skip on the opportunity. If you guys are curious and you're like, okay, I heard your story. I see what you're doing. And maybe I feel the same thing where I'm like longing for significance. I've tried a bunch of stuff. I don't know what's like going to fill this hole that I have in my heart. And maybe I want to try this Jesus thing. If that's you, I would love to explain what that means and what that's like. And yeah, and give you the opportunity to do that and kind of follow the same path that I did, if that would be helpful for you. So, here's basically the essence of the gospel. Gospel means good news. This is the good news for the world. And this is what people will say in church. This is what Christians believe. This is what people who follow Jesus believe. And so I'm just going to explain it to you and you let me know what you think. If you have any questions too, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A. I know like it's not something where it's like, oh yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense. I'm just going to everything's answered and it's in a beautiful little bow. It doesn't actually work that way. Oftentimes in life, things are pretty complicated. So, but this is essentially it. So us human beings, we're here. We are evil. We're all evil. I've done so many evil things. I've lied. I've cheated. I've lusted. I've said things that were not nice to people. And all of us have done something like that in our lives. Everybody's done that. And because of that, we cause a lot of destruction in the world. And a lot of the evil in the world is because some people even argue all of the evil in the world, but a lot of the evil in the world is because of us and what we've done wrong. And so God wanted to be able to have a relationship with us. And actually, he's a just God. And so he wanted to make sure that God is someone that like doesn't actually is not, well, how do I say this? See, this is tricky, but God is somebody that loves us, and somebody that is not able to be in a deep relationship with people that are unclean or sinners. He's a holy God. He's righteous. He's just. And so what he did is he sent Jesus, which is his son, and he lived a perfect life. So everybody in the world except for Jesus has not lived great lives. And Jesus lived a perfect life. And then he died on the cross as a punishment. And he took all the punishment that we deserve because we've done evil, because we've done bad things. We deserve to be punished for that because God is just. And justice means that if you do something wrong, you get to pay the price for that. It's kind of like being in court. And it's like saying like, okay, maybe I was speeding. So I was speeding. I had to go to court. And now the judge is like, all right, you sped. That was bad. Don't do that. It puts people in danger. And now you have to pay. It's probably a little bit worse than this, but now you have to pay like $1,200. You got to pay your speeding ticket, bro. And this random guy comes in who's never sped before, never done anything wrong. And he's like, guess what? I'll pay the ticket. Jordan, you can go free. Get out of here. I'll pay the ticket. And he forks out the $1,200 and he pays it. But he didn't even do anything wrong. He never sped. He does like, this is not a perfect analogy, but this is just an analogy. And so that's what Jesus does for us. Jesus says, in order for you to have a relationship with God and with my Father, I'm going to take all the sin, all the things that you've tried to do to satisfy yourself on my shoulders, and I'm going to pay the price for you. And then the crazy thing is, Jesus died, he was crucified, and then he was buried for 3 days, and he rose again on the third day. He came back to life, which it's never happened. Nobody's just died and come back to life. And he like appeared to hundreds of people. All of his disciples that followed him, all the people, this is like 2,000 years ago when this happened. You can study all this stuff that I'm telling you. All of his disciples, pretty much as far as we know, all of them except for one were martyred, meaning they were killed for their belief that Jesus died and raised himself from the dead. So, or God raised him from the dead, however you want to say it. So they did not think this was a lie. They weren't making this up. They said this literally legit happened, and you can kill me before I will renounce it. Which is, humans don't really do that. Humans don't like be like, yeah, just murder me because of this belief that I have. And so that was, to me, that's pretty convincing that at least they for sure believed it. Either they got tricked really bad or it actually happened. And because of that, we're able to have a relationship with Jesus. So our job, our responsibility is to say, do what I did in the car and say, God, I repent. Like, I'm sorry. I've tried all these things. I've done a ton of stuff wrong. And I'm sorry. I want to receive this free gift of grace that you've given us, which is like, if you want to pay the price for me, yes, I receive that. And I want to give my life to you and let you run my life because you know much better than I do. And I can't tell you, that's the best decision I've ever made. I grew up in church, kind of doing all the things, but there's a difference between actually being surrendered to Jesus and going to church every week. Like church and Jesus and like actually following Jesus are kind of two different things. Church should be a community of people that are following Jesus together, but you can totally be in church and not be following Jesus. And that's what I was for sure. So if you want to do that, if you want to respond and accept Jesus and give your life to him, I totally that's the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. I would love to walk you through a little prayer where we do that and we talk to God and we say, God, we're sorry for everything we've done. We just want to give our lives to you. So if you want to do that, and you're okay just putting a little 1 in the chat, that would be sick. And I would love to pray with you and pray for you. Yeah, so let me know. Be bold. Put a little 1 in the chat if you would like to pray with me right now to receive Jesus. So, okay. I see some 1s. Let's go. Yeah, like the number 1. Yeah, like what everybody's doing up here. Okay, sick. Sick. I love it. Okay, I see all you guys. I see you 1s. Let's go. This is sick. Yeah, bro, this is the best thing I've ever done. So I'm excited. Okay, sick. So let's pray. Here we go. So this is what I would say. As I'm praying this, go ahead and kind of repeat after me. You could either whisper it out loud or just pray it in your heart, in your mind. Basically, like just say this to God as I'm talking. So here we go. God, thank you so much for loving me. Thank you so much for loving me. So much so that you would send your son, your one and only son, as a sacrifice, so that I could be in relationship with you. God, I'm sorry for all the things that I've done wrong in my life. I'm sorry for everything that has hurt other people, that has hurt you. I receive the free gift of your forgiveness. Thank you for forgiving me and for washing my slate clean. And I want to give my life to you so that you can show me the best way to live. Thank you. Amen. That's pretty much it. All right. If you prayed that in your head or out loud, go ahead, put a little 2 in the chat. If you prayed that, that'd be awesome. And I'd love to, I'd love to give you, let's go, some 2s in the chat. I'd love to give you guys some resources and just some next steps if you prayed that, because that's a big commitment. Well, it's not a big commitment. Well, it is a big commitment, but I don't want to leave you alone and be like, okay, cool, bye guys. I want to actually give you some help, because it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey. And it's one that you won't regret. It's the best decision ever. So I'm literally so freaking stoked for you. It's literally made my life so much better. So a few things I'm going to put in the chat for you guys. Number 1 is the Bible. This is the best-selling book of all time. It's crazy. It is the most purchased book ever. And it's 66 little books all put together with different authors. And it is the inspired word of God. That's what people say that it is. So I'm going to put this little link to the Bible app. It's free. You can just get it on your phone. And I would highly recommend you start reading it. I would recommend starting in the book of Mark or the book of John. Those are 2 different historical accounts of the life of Jesus. So if you just want to get to know who Jesus is, what he said, what he did, how he lived, my whole entire life goal is to be like Jesus. So I love reading the Gospels. And so there's the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of John. John is a disciple, so he's an eyewitness. And then Mark is a guy that wrote for Peter, who is also an eyewitness, a disciple, an apostle of Jesus. So those are the people that literally live with Jesus. It's the best historical sources we have. I would read that. The other thing is, if you like doing like Bible studies, or if you like somebody kind of like explaining everything to you, some people get a little bit intimidated by just reading the Bible straight up. So I have a couple like plans that you could do. So here's like a little Mark study. If you want to like kind of go through the book of Mark, it's with my boy, Francis Chan. He's a really amazing teacher. I like Francis. He's a good guy. So that's why I'm recommending him. And then here's another one that's like talking about what is a Christian. So that's also with Francis Chan. And it's literally like, okay, what does it even mean to be a Christian? And it kind of just goes through kind of a little bit of some of the stuff I talked about today. And it's like, we're people, we're human beings, and how are we different, and what do we do? So I don't know, a lot of interesting stuff. And then last thing, I'm doing a Bible study in my Discord server, but you don't need to join the Discord server. But on Wednesdays, let me see, I think next Wednesday, 10. Oh, not next Wednesday. Well, no, yeah, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, I'm doing a little Zoom Bible study. So if you want to continue to hang with me, oh my gosh. Oh, if you want to continue to hang with me, we can talk more. And we're studying the book of James, which is actually some writings by early church members. I think James is actually Jesus's brother, which is pretty crazy. So we're studying that. It's really great wisdom on actually just how to live life and how to live like Jesus did. So it's really great. So dude, this stuff, like, this is literally, if I could talk about one topic for the rest of my life and I only picked one topic, this is what I would talk about. I am not joking. Like, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm actually not obsessed as much as I should be, but this is like my favorite topic to talk about. So I know I promised we would do some Q&A too. If you guys are like, if you have any questions or you have any concerns or you want to talk about anything, let's do some questions before I hop off. Then I'll have to go pretty soon. But guys, if you guys prayed that, I'm so excited for you. You're literally embarking on the best journey of your life. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can come. You can actually, the other thing, if you want, I'm trying to think. I'm going to give you my email, actually. This is risky, but I'm doing it. If you have any other questions, or actually, it would be super sick if you could just like email this email and say, hey, I prayed that prayer. Like, if you put a 2 in the chat, just email this email and literally just say, you could literally say nothing in the email and just say in the subject line, I prayed, or I put 2 in the chat, or something like that. Just send it to that email. That'd be sick. Either way, you don't have to, but yeah. So any questions, guys? What does secret live stream mean? It means if you found this live stream, this was a secret live stream and you get to hear everything that happened. So I don't know if you missed it. You guys can watch the replay if you want. But I just kind of, we talked about art. We talked about storytelling. I shared my story a little bit. I shared about Jesus and how he's helped me. He's been like the biggest thing that's helped me in my life, because my whole story, I've been chasing fame and chasing other things, and it was not good. So that's what it is. So I don't want to pressure you with anything. Like I said, this is not for me. This is not like, this is what I was saying earlier. I don't want to be like, hey, I think you should follow Jesus. The end. Like, I feel like that's not the best way to communicate. Us as humans, we love storytelling. So I just wanted to share my life experience in not following Jesus versus following Jesus. So that's it. And I just wanted to invite you to respond after that. I don't want to force you to do anything. That it never ends well if you try to force somebody to follow Jesus. It never ends well. So I just want to, I'm not trying to pressure anybody. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. How do you, okay, here we go. Bro, I am an atheist. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. How do I know it's God's calling, or if I'm trying to pursue something else for my own glory? That's a great question. That's a really hard question. And I wrestle with that question a lot. I think it comes down to just surrender. So it comes down to that point. Like, I thought the whole time that I was doing stuff that I was like, I'm not pursuing this for my glory. I'm doing it because I feel like it's just what I should do, you know? And so as I was building a YouTube channel, I was trying to dedicate it to God. I was trying to make it that. But my real deep down, like if I was honest, my deep down motivation was to be significant, was to be famous, was to make a bunch of money, all that stuff. Also, I mean, I just enjoy it. It's fun. I love hanging out with you guys. But I would say pretty confidently it wasn't for God. But so the difference between that and where I ended up was I actually just surrendered and said, God, I don't care about this anymore, in the sense of I don't care. Like, you could delete it. If you wanted me to delete this channel, I would be okay with it. And we would do that because I still have you. The YouTube channel isn't the thing that I love. It's not like I'm not idolizing it. And so I feel like that's how you know you're doing it for God, is if you're able to release it to him and you're able to let go of things. Anything that you're like, I want to hold on to that more so than I want to surrender to God, is probably an idol. And that's what I was learning. Do you do work as an editor, YouTuber? Do you have any side jobs? So I have kind of three main things I do. Number one, I do YouTube and I create content for brands. Number two, I freelance edit. So I edit for creators, brands, artists. And then number three, I coach people on how to go full-time as an editor or a creator. Those are my three main gigs. So I kind of have three jobs. Sorry about our chat, Jordan. That's okay, guys. I knew it was going to get a little ugly, and that's okay. That's okay. Thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Would you react to Meowv? Is that how you say that? I don't know. Maybe. Yo, thanks for being here, guys. All right. Thinking gods exist, praying and all that trash is so useless. It's 2026, bro. Are you stuck in what, 2010? That's awesome. That's a good comment. So actually, people have been believing in God forever. All the deepest thinkers, like Einstein, Isaac Newton, pretty sure Plato believed in God. There's like so many deep philosophical people believe in God. So I would encourage you to just study it, give it a fair chance. And there's also plenty of people that don't believe in God. But there's a lot of amazing people that do. So I would take a look into it. It's and also study the neuroscience of praying. Look into that. Look up this guy named Andrew Hubert. He's one of the most famous neuroscientists out there. He believes in God. Number one, just because biology is insane. The amount of the complexity that it takes to run a brain, much less a human brain, is insane. It's literally incomputable. It's like the most powerful computer. Humans have never been able to make something as powerful as a brain. And the benefits, the psychological and neuro benefits of praying is actually very fascinating to study. Anyway, let's see. And guys, if you want to hate on me, go for it. I really don't care. It's fine. Let's see. Yeah, and many doctors and scientists today also do believe in God as well. I actually looked for your email to send you a story of mine you may find interesting. Okay. Can you do a reaction to Stray Kids? I'm trying my best to do all the Stray Kids reactions, y'all. I'm trying my best. Final Cut Pro or DaVinci? I actually use Premiere, but I would recommend DaVinci. DaVinci's good. That's great. Phone idolizing is so hard to get rid of. Man, it is. Social media is an evil thing, which is ironic because I do social media for a living. But I really do believe, not necessarily it is evil, but social media companies they literally monetize your attention. So the more that they can get you on this thing, the more money they make. So they do everything in their power to get you sucked into it and away from actual human being interactions. So be careful, be on your guard for sure. They literally monetize you. Love your videos, dude. I've been watching since 2001. Thanks. All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, here you got another question. How do I know if I'm idolizing or actually working hard for His glory? Okay, so this is what I think you might be getting tripped up a little bit. It's literally this simple. It's, am I working hard because I want to, and this is probably something we'll struggle with. I still struggle with this. There are times where I'm working hard because I want to look good, and there's times that I'm working hard because I want to represent God well. And it literally comes down to what's in your heart and what's your motivation. So sometimes it's both. I'm still a sinful, messed up human being. I'm not perfect. I'm pretty freaking messed up still. But thank you so much, Jesus, for taking that punishment that I deserve and giving me grace. So I'm so thankful to Jesus every single day. I just wake up so thankful. And so how do I know if I'm idolizing or actually working hard? You just have to ask yourself honestly and be honest with yourself. Am I doing this for God? And it's not even the other thing is, a lot of times it's easy to fall into the trap of working hard for God when you've already received all you need. Like, the greatest gift in the entire world is a relationship with God. And we want to work hard out of love for God and love for other people. If we're working hard in order for our own benefit, we may be out of alignment a little bit, as opposed to working hard for other people's benefit or to show that we love God. And to show not that we love God as in God distant, but like the relationship we have with God, we get to pray, we get to talk with Him and say, like, God, I'm doing this, I'm doing my best because I want other people to experience the same thing that I've experienced. So with this stream, I'm scared to do this stream 100%. You guys see the chat, you see that people are upset, and I knew that was going to happen, and that's okay. It's okay. I'm really not trying to pressure. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. But I'm doing this because I know it's like the people that responded and the people that put the ones and the twos in the chat, I know that it's going to help their life. I absolutely know it. And so it would be selfish for me to be like, I'm too afraid of the comment section in the chat. I'm not going to do it. So I'm putting my neck out there a little bit because I love you guys. And I really want, like, the thing that's helped me the most in my life, I want you to have that too. And I'm also doing it because I know that, God loves everybody so much and He wants to be in a relationship with them. So if I can help other people have a relationship with God, I know God loves that. So that's great. Anyway, RIP to the few of us who put 6-7. Okay, cool. If you're all right with getting into politics, what are your thoughts? Oh, heck no, I'm not okay with getting into politics. It's funny though. I appreciate, I did talk about like controversial things in religion. I also hate calling a relationship with Jesus a religion because there's been so many Christians and people that claim Christ that have done so many terrible things in the world, and it's become religion. It's become religious. And I feel like people overall really don't trust like institutions, especially like religious institutions. And it's fair because they've done a lot of bad things in the world. They've also done a lot of good things in the world. And what do you expect with humans? Humans do terrible things and good things. It's what we do. And, but anyway, I don't like calling it a religion sometimes because that comes with a lot of baggage. It comes with a lot of baggage. So I like to think of it as I'm literally talking to my creator and I have a relationship with Jesus. Here's the other thing I forgot to mention. I would love for you guys, if you could, it's great to find, like if you put a 2 in the chat and you're still here, it's great to find a local church as well. Or like you're not supposed to do this alone, this following Jesus thing. We're supposed to do it in community. So I can't tell you like what kind of church to go to or what you should. I mean, obviously we want to find a healthy one. We don't want to find one that's whack. But I would just poke around your local community, see if there's anybody else that that follows Jesus too. Talk to them, see what it's like for them. Like find other people that are following Jesus that you can be friends with. It's really important. So anyway, very important. I gave up on churches. I understand some churches are pretty whack. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's important to find healthy ones. But there's no perfect church either. Every single church is going to do every single church is going to have issues because it's run by people that are sinful, people that do messed up things. So there's always going to be issues, but it's better than doing it alone. Jesus did life in community, and it's why people in blue zones. Here's the other thing. Have you ever heard of blue zones? Blue zones are the people that live the longest in the earth. So there's different zones around the earth where there's really good weather, really good food, and people in blue zones have crazy amounts of community where they all support each other. And so nobody's really worried that they're going to get cast out of the community, or they're going to not have enough food or not be able to survive, because everybody kind of supports each other. And so that's also the way that Jesus designed his church to be, where we're all supporting each other, we're loving each other so deeply in community, and it actually helps you live the most full life. So I know lots of people have church hurt. They have hurt, they've been churches do messed up things sometimes, and that happens because we're sinful people. But my encouragement to you would be, don't give up on it. Try something else, try a different one, try again, because that's the way that God designed us to live. So we're not supposed to be lone wolves as humans. It's important to be in community. Okay. Yeah, blue zones are incredible places with amazing community and agriculture. Yes, it's great. Okay. Is it not okay to go to churches that often? Good question. So I believe that you should be in a regular community, doing life together. If you look at what's in the Bible and what the people in the early church did, or the people that, even if you just look at the way that Jesus lived, he was doing life with people. He had 12 disciples and other disciples following him as well, but 12 main ones. And they would just live together every single day. They would do life together. Now that's not meaning that I'm not telling you have to live with 12 guys and that's your lifestyle from now on. But the point is, it's important to be doing life with people and to actually have genuine, real friendships with other believers. And so the more often that you can meet together, the better. Obviously we have lives, we have kids, we have families, we have all kinds of stuff. So whatever makes sense for you in that time of life. But I think on average in America, people go to church every 6 weeks or so. And that's not good. You're not doing life with people that you're seeing every other month. It's just not happening. Or I guess maybe, about once a month. So it's not happening that way. So I would definitely say more than that. Yeah. What's your take on AI? That's a whole can of worms. We're not getting into that. That's not what this secret stream is about. Maybe we'll have a different one. Jordan, what's your Christian denomination? I don't have a Christian denomination. That's kind of what I was saying before. I was like, it's there's a lot of religiosity with Christians, and there's a lot of different denominations, and a lot of them disagree. Pretty much, if you believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, and you believe that he's God, and you put your faith in him, I believe you're going to heaven. So, and you'll get to spend eternity in paradise with him because you've trusted in him to pay the price for your sins. And if you believe that, that's pretty much all you need to do. And then there's a lot of denominations that just have different traditions or different things that they emphasize with faith. And so I don't think I think all kinds of denominations are great. There's some that are a little bit whack where they're start to believe weird things, but the vast majority are awesome. Okay. Will Mr. Jordan watch this? Wait, okay, well, who did I ignore? Somebody said I ignored it. Yeah, 2 hearts, rude MB teaser. Okay. Jordan, you should check out Meov. Oh yeah, we've said that already. All right. I gotta go. So I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Any last question? I can do one more question. I really appreciate you talking about this, Jordan, especially how negatively people talk about religion. I'm glad that you Thought it was cool. Thanks. Good luck, bro. Have a nice life. Thanks. Will you do more lives? I might. Actually might make this more. I might do this again. This was a first test. You guys were the guinea pigs. So no questions. Thanks, brother. You have to do your math homework. Good luck. I hate math, so I'm sorry. That's the worst. Going to my class. Thank you so much for speaking and spreading the words. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, guys. If you haven't seen the new video, I just reacted to Ive, so check it out. It's pretty cool. I'll be making some more reactions for you guys too, so hopefully you enjoy it. All right. God bless you guys. Peace.